Thank you, Aaron and Brian, and hello, everyone. Coming up, breaking news, a new series from Orange and the New Black creator Jenji Kohan for Netflix. But first, the idea of offering something new and big in primetime Memorial Day night was considered foolhardy for decades. And then the History Channel came along 4 years ago with Hatfields and McCoys, a miniseries with Kevin Costner among the co-stars. Some 17 million people watched that saga unfold over 3 nights, and Hatfields went on to win 16 Emmy nominations and 5 Emmy Awards. That successful bet led to other channels giving us more original primetime options to wrap this extended holiday weekend. Which takes us to last night and the premiere of Roots, history's reboot of the classic ABC miniseries based on the Alex Haley bestseller. The 1977 original set off a national conversation about how African Americans came to be and how we all came to be. LeVar Burton became an overnight star in the key role of Kunta Kinte. And in this remake, Burton serves as executive producer, and newcomer from England, Malachi Kirby, is Kunta Kinte. Here's a collection of scenes from the entire miniseries, which continues tonight and runs through Thursday. We want to caution you that some of what follows is graphic, violent, and extremely disturbing.
You must hear your name first. You are Kunta Kinte, son of Omoran Binta Kinte. You must always honor your ancestors, the ones who love you and watch over you.
It's time your family pay Kunta. Run! Oh!
Jump! Jump!
I own this property, boy, and everything on it.
There is no South without slavery.
But God is my witness. I say you, even if he part you tomorrow, your love, it will never die.
A name is who you is. My daddy took whippings night and day to protect his name.
Speak to me, Lord! Speak to me, Lord!
You think I don't know he my daddy?
If you ever touch just one, I'll kill you.
You brought this upon yourself and upon your poor family.
No, you brought it on my family. No, don't take my family.
But there's a brand new show for you to watch today. So while the Western eyes can look the other way, where your carelessness stays, where the spirit's true ways, we are what we made.
We got the same blood, boy. He was a slave, too. You just never knew it.
Your name is your spirit. Your name is your shield.
The original Roots remains one of the highest-rated events in TV history. 130 million people saw that program. It won 37 Emmy nominations and 9 awards. This version is winning big praise from critics, who see a bunch of Emmy nominations later this summer, maybe a Peabody Award next year, and several nominations in store for its cast, led by Kirby, Forrest Whitaker, Akinanani Rose, and Regé-Jean Page. I think he's going to be a major star, by the way, out of this. ABC produced a Next Generation's follow-up miniseries in 1979 and a Christmas movie, The Gift, several years later. We will see if history pursues continues the same track. Again, part 2 of this Roots airs tonight. Now the breaking news. Genji Gohan, the creator of Orange is the New Black, is developing a new series that will premiere on Netflix next year. The topic, Glow, as in Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling. Yes, the Women's Wrestling League that was on Channel 11 and other stations around the country in syndication during the 1980s. One more bit of news. Amazon is renewing Transparent. The Joe Soloway series has just won the Peabody Award for a 4th season for next year. 3rd season comes on this fall. Later this afternoon on Tomorrow Be Televised, we'll answer this question. Whatever happened to Michael Hong, the entrepreneur behind Imagination TV? The founder of one of the first national networks directed at Asian Americans back in 2004 is back with a new venture, digital media rights. And yes, there's Asian American content involved and more. Plus, we'll explore the next level of TV technology from smart TVs to virtual reality with TechCrunch senior writer Anthony Ha, who was right here on this program last month. All that and more, 3 p.m. on Blog Talk Radio. And this Friday, we will start a half hour earlier for an exclusive interview with Clyde Phillips, the Nurse Jackie and Dexter executive producer behind Feed the Beast, launching Sunday night on AMC and produced here in New York by Lionsgate. You can see our recent segment on Feed at www.youtube.com/BRIC TV. We don't know yet how many people saw Roots last night, but I can tell you that the broadcast networks, ABC, CBS, NBC, combined viewership 16%. Throw in Fox and CW, probably around 20. So I'm sure there were a lot of people who did see Roots last night.
I'm sorry, you've totally buried the lead. She's making a show about Glow,
yes.
The Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling.
Is Stacey the Farmer's Daughter going to be back? That's what I want to ask Genji Kohan. I watched that show on Channel 11.
I watched that show
That seems like such a good pairing. I mean, Genji, wow.
It's going to be a comedy, and it will be on Netflix next year. And the story came out this morning. Hollywood Reporter broke the story exclusively. I want to give him credit for that. Cool. And as a fan of Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling, I think it's going to be fun to see how Genji approaches this topic.
That's going to be amazing.
I've Googled them before when I'm not at work, looking about Glow. But there's a lot of backstory there. There should be some interesting stuff.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the characters, they had these larger-than-life characters. It was the first female wrestling league in national television syndication. They tried to be the WWE of female wrestling. It only ran a couple of seasons, but it was widely popular when it was on.
With the Samoan lady. Oh,
the Samoan lady. Remember the Samoan drop?
Yeah. Oh my goodness, my childhood.
But we have to have Stacey the Farmer's Daughter. That was my favorite character.
Of course,
she's gonna come out of retirement.
Yes.
Okay. Now, I do have to ask about Roots. Now, you said the numbers haven't come in just yet, but what are some of the critics saying? The
critics love it. They think it's one of the best programs of the year. I definitely see it being a slam dunk for the Peabody Awards. There's already talk for Malachi Kirby for Best Actor in a miniseries, Akinani Rose, Anna Paquin, and this Renee Jean Page, who a lot of people think is a great breakout star.
So there's the numbers are great, but people don't watch TV like that anymore. Because when I was reading something about Roots, they talked about like the MASH finale, Who Shot JR, when fully every other house in America was watching. So with all these different fragmented services, what scores as a hit now?
Well, first of all, you got to remember that with Roots, the first episode at least was simulcast also on A&E and Lifetime. I don't know if the rest of the episodes will be. Okay. Secondly, it is getting tremendous play all over the country. The critics have really poured on. Entertainment Weekly, I think, gave it an A-. It's been reported in the Hollywood Reporter and Variety, New York Times, New York Post. All the press I've seen locally and nationally love this series. They say it, as I said, is considered one of the best miniseries of the year. That it stands on its own with the original Roots. There's a lot of interest because LeVar Burton is one of the executive producers. Mark Wolper, David Wolper's son. David Wolper was the executive producer of the great documentarian entrepreneur who launched Roots on ABC back in 1977. He's an executive producer. The cast, which was Lawrence Fishburne doing Alex Haley. A lot of talk. They're making the rounds of all the talk shows and late night shows. So it's getting tremendous play. And the other thing, too, to watch is that if you saw 4 years ago when History did Hatfield McCoy's, nobody else was doing original programming on Memorial Day night. You fast forward to what happened last night. You had the premiere of So You Think You Can Dance. You had ABC with Mistresses. You had the great game on TNT last night, the Warriors and the Oklahoma City Thunder. Game 7, Stanley Cup playoffs on NBC as well. There was a lot of, it's totally changed in terms of how you see Memorial Day night as a attraction for television.
So what about the clapback? Like Snoop Dogg has been a loud voice out there saying, you know what, enough of this. Every time we get awarded or shown anywhere, it's the same old slave narrative kind of thing, and it's not even made by our people. So when people, like when that controversy like that comes up, does it help or does it hurt when it comes to like the Peabodys and the awards?
I think in this case it helps because it draws attention to the show, but on one part Snoop is wrong. two directors who are African-American, two of the very best, I might add. Thomas Carter and Mary Van Peebles directed two of the segments. So it's half and half. Two white directors did two of the episodes, and two African-American directors. Yeah. And when it comes to African-American directors of any kind, I'll put Thomas Carter against the best of my admired work for years, from Hill Street Blues on up, back in the 80s. And Mary Van Peebles, wonderful actor turned director. He's done a lot of great episodic television and movies, as well as feature films
right,
too.
The son of, yeah.
Now,
So
are we going to continue to see this trend throughout different holidays? No more, taking off for the weekend to spend time with
I
families?
think you're going to see it. I would love to. Christmas Eve is still the one, and Christmas Day are still the one holiday where you don't see a lot of original programming. You see reruns. You see the annual showing of It's a Wonderful Life on NBC. You see marathons. You are seeing college football games now on Christmas night. You're seeing some NFL games on Christmas night in recent years. But I would love to see the power of television where you could do, let's say, how about a Christmas Around the World special? How about a Hallmark Hall of Fame original movie on Hallmark Channel? There's so much you could do with all the networks out there, and you have Netflix and Hulu and Amazon. You could do a lot of original programming. I'd love to see a Christmas Around the World special, 8 o'clock. You do like a YouTube kind of thing where you take the camera all over the world, see how Christmas and Hanukkah is being celebrated.
With his Jesus thing, that could work. But also, it will save people from getting trampled down at the Walmart because everybody wants to go and buy a $5 toaster as soon as Christmas dinner is done. So. That's a thing.
Incidentally, by the way, Brian Aaron, next month we're going to see a lot of exciting original programming. In addition to Feed the Beast, we're going to see more of Preacher. We're going to see Roadies, a new series on Showtime from Cameron Crowe. ABC is launching a 3-hour game show block on Sunday nights, the return of Celebrity Family Feud with Steve Harvey, followed by The Pyramid with Michael Strahan, the $100,000 version, shot here in New York, and Match Game with Alec Baldwin hosting, and that's being done here in New York as well.
The network that gave us Millionaire.
Yes. Network gave us Millionaire. And incidentally, in addition to all of that, we have as well the return of Angie Tribeca on TBS, new TBS comedy called Wrecked. We've got Animal Kingdom from TNT, the first new drama from John Wells VR fame, and Shameless, the first under the Kevin Riley era. FX got the return of Sex, Drugs, and Rock and Roll. A lot of great stuff coming up next month.
So you don't need to get any sun this summer. Just stay in there.
Stay in the house.
You don't need to put on your sunscreen if you're watching TV. Well, thank you, Simon.
I'm back next Monday.
All right.